This is the Idiot Entrepreneur Podcast with
John
and Kelly, where no one is smarter than you. We're all just a bunch of idiots figuring out business and life one day at a time.
What's up, idiots?
What's up, dummies?
Yeah.
Hello. Right. Welcome to the podcast.
This is episode 10 of Idiot Entrepreneur. And
woo-hoo.
Yeah, 10 episodes in.
Good for us.
Wow. How do we do it? No one knows. Yeah, so we've been doing this. This is our start of our second month with Idiot Entrepreneur Podcast, and we're 10 episodes in. I just realized that when we were doing the show notes, and that's pretty cool. 10 episodes in, and there's 1,000 more to go. So this is just scratching the surface.
Yep, we're going to keep cranking them out 2 times a week, every week.
Stay tuned.
That's right. So what are we going to talk about today?
All right, so today we're going to talk about not being a victim. So not having the victim mentality. So it's this concept of things happening for you, not to you. This is super common, and we think that too many people have the victim mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to reframe the way you think, and honestly, it's human nature, I think, to have that negative mentality. Most people, if something happens to you, let's say I don't know, what thing, you get fired from your job. Most people say, oh, I got fired, and you blame it on other people. You whine about it, you cry about it, you get down in the dumps, you're depressed, and that's just useless. It's useless, wasted energy, and you need to stop thinking about things that way. And that's what we mean when we say change the way you think. Things happen for you, not to you. So what do we mean by that? Can you explain that for the idiots out there?
So I'll elaborate.
I can't even talk.
Well, if I could speak English.
In English, please.
Yeah,
Sir.
if I could speak English, that would really help. Elaborate. Just create a new word.
Yeah, so John's going to elaborate on what we mean by things happening for you, not to you. What do we mean?
Yeah, so what that means is basically reframing a circumstance that happens in your life. Kelly's example of getting fired from your job, or you develop cancer, or you smoke for 30 years and you develop cancer.
Your business isn't doing well. You lose a customer.
Yeah.
So many things. You lose money in the stock market. Could be a million different examples.
There's exactly right.
You stub your toe. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's literally thousands of examples going through my head. So taking those circumstances and changing the scenario to realize that things happened for you instead of to you. When something bad happens, someone will automatically say, "Man, this really sucks. I can't believe this happened to me." And in reality, you got to reframe that and say, "Things happened. This bad situation happened to me. It didn't happen to me. It happened for me." And the purpose of saying "for" is to change the scenario to help you realize that this situation happened for a reason that's going to help you become better.
Yeah, it flips it from a negative to a positive, and it takes the power away. When something happens to you, that sort of like renders you powerless. You're a victim. Oh, things just happen to me, and I can't help it. When you say it happens for you, that means it's positive, and you've taken the power away from it, and it's actually there to benefit you, even if it's a negative thing. From the initial time when something happens, it might be hard to look at it as a positive, right? A lot of things that happen in life that aren't necessarily positive, obviously, are going to be difficult for you to see in that light. But at the end of the day, you just have to force yourself to look at it like, you know what, this happened for me.
Exactly. So, this goes back to reframing life circumstances into positive things rather than negative things. So, if you really listen to what people say, you're going to hear very commonly in a conversation, someone saying, "This happened to me. I can't believe this happened to me."
That's everybody.
That's everybody, yeah.
Everywhere.
Everybody says that without even realizing, it's not my fault this happened to me. this happened to me. That's what everybody says. And that's 100% true. And if you really listen, those words come out very frequently.
Yeah, listen to yourself. Listen how many times in a day you say, oh, this happened to me. Oh, this is bad. So it's such a habit that's ingrained. You probably don't even realize when you're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, so you got to flip the script. Anytime you think of, when you're about to say this happened to me, you got to say this happened for me so I can improve. You got to say, for example, if your outcome right now, where you are right now in life, you're not happy where you are, this happened for you, right? Instead of to you. So if you say that everything you did in life happened to you, and this is why you're not happy with where you are in life, you have to say this happened for me. So I realize that now this happened for me for a reason, so I can improve myself and live a life I actually want to live. That's a great example.
Yeah, I think, a good example from business that John and I have really practiced doing, and I say practice because this is not something that's natural. This isn't going to come naturally to you. This is something no one does. I don't think naturally. You have to practice at it, right? You have to constantly tell yourself this, and you have to get good at it to where it finally just becomes a habit. And we've done this. So, for example, if we lose a client in our business, we used to, oh my God, we would bitch about it. We would be pissed. We would
shit mood for days.
Yeah, we would talk about how, they did this and that, and it's not our fault, and all these negative things that are common, but they're not going to get you anywhere. And we've practiced, and now if we lose a client, which we don't do often, but if we do, we immediately learn the lesson. We analyze it. We figure out what is the lesson here, what can we improve, and then we move on. We forget about it. We say, you know what, we're grateful that this happened because this happened for us to teach us a lesson. For example, maybe we weren't taking care of our customer. Maybe we just, kind of set it and forget it. So we lost the customer, and so that taught us, hey, we have to give our customers the utmost of service. We have to pay attention to them, check in on them, and, we're glad we learned that lesson because it's going to save us from losing more customers down the line.
Exactly. That's a real life example of a very hard lesson to learn. But that is a great example of reframing a bad situation into something positive. And that's the point here, is changing something bad into something negative into a positive outlook.
Yeah, because what do you accomplish when you sit there and bitch and whine and cry about it? What does that do for you?
Nothing. I mean, it just creates more negativity. That's all it does.
And it wastes energy. It wastes time. Time that you could be using to figure out a solution, or time that you could be using to move on, to learn a lesson, and to move on to the next thing, right?
Exactly.
I mean, even simple examples. Something that I've started to do with food delivery. Like in New York, food delivery is a total crapshoot. We can get a lot of different things, but getting it right is
rare.
Yeah, I mean, almost always something gets forgotten. And, used to, a lot of times you get pissed and you think, oh, they forgot this again, and you're mad about it. But honestly, what I've started doing is, let's say we ordered, some French fries, and then we look in the bag and we see that they forgot the fries. Rather than saying, this sucks, I hate this, I'm never ordering again, or calling the restaurant and yelling at them, I say, you know what?
That's less
great.
fat.
This happened for us, not to us, right? We shouldn't be eating fries anyway. So you know what? They did us a favor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, those fries could have caused a heart attack.
Yeah, or it could, we gain a pound, like when we don't need to be eating like that. So it actually, it helped us, right?
That's true. That's so true. Yeah.
But most people won't look at it that way. Most people look at it like, oh, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and they'll flip out and be angry about it for hours, which honestly, I used to be that way. For years. Is always take it.
Yeah, you threw a pizza at me once.
Actually, this is a true story. That was in downtown.
Oh my God! Yeah, we ordered a pizza, and it wasn't. I can't remember exactly, but I think they left out.
I ordered pepperoni, and they gave me mushrooms, I think.
Yeah, something so horrible. And I was standing on the other side of the room, and he just chucked this pizza at me and was like, get this out of my sight. And it was the most bullshit thing I'd ever seen, but it was one of the funniest things. We laugh about it all the time now because it was just such a little diva moment.
That's actually a true story.
That's totally happening to you, right? You could have said, oh, this happened for me. maybe I shouldn't be eating pepperoni, or
Yeah, or
maybe the
maybe
pepperoni was poisonous. Who knows?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
Or yeah, exactly. And maybe the mushroom, mushrooms have less calories than pepperonis.
Yeah, they're healthier for you. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
All right. Yeah, good story.
yeah,
That's actually a good example.
yeah.
I lost my track here. Where was I?
So yeah, I mean, there's some things that you can't control in your life. A lot of things that you can't control. But just constantly having that victim mindset is going to set you back years, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your personal life, your job, whatever it may be. You have to have that positive mindset, because you will be able to recover from these negative things so much quicker. And really, in that respect, there shouldn't be very many negative things if you're reframing everything in a positive light. But if you get a ticket for speeding, and rather than bitch about it and think about it all day long, you say, you know what, that happened for me, not to me. I need to be safer. And then you move on from it, right? You've saved yourself so much time in that day and so much energy when you would have been focusing on the negative. Now you're on to the positive and you're on to the next thing. This is going to propel you years ahead in life, in all aspects, if you reframe your mind this way.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's all about perspective is what we're trying to say. If you change your perspective from being negative and pessimistic to positive and more optimistic, your life will turn around. I know that for sure, because everything you see will have a positive. If you have a positive mentality, everything you do will have, most things that you do will have a positive outcome. I actually do believe that. It's all in your head.
It sounds like a lot of like flowers and rainbows, I think,
Yeah.
if you're not used to doing this, but
Yeah,
it's
it's not
just absolutely true.
Yeah.
I think actually we spoke about this in another episode, but going back to the RAS, the reticular activating system, if your mind is in a positive frame and you're focused on positive things, you're going to see those positive things. You'll see positive outcomes in the negative. You'll see opportunity. Whereas if your mind is fixated on the negative, then you're always going to be a victim. And victims don't get very far in life.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, one thing to point out too is that sometimes you really actually do have really shitty things that happen to you that you can't control. One of them, let's say you're crossing the street and get mowed over by a fucking car. I mean, that sucks. I mean, and let's say you never saw the car coming. So it's your fault they got hit by the car, and possibly the driver's fault too. Because you didn't look.
Or maybe something wasn't your fault.
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, I'm saying it depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
I mean, if yeah, so let's say it's not your fault. You get hit by a car. This happened to you. That's really shitty. How can you flip that around? Something that tragic. You're in the hospital for a month, for example, because of it. You can say this happened for me for a couple of reasons. You can say, number one, something very simple, look both ways before you cross. Number two, right, the obvious.
Yeah.
The very obvious shit. And then number two is that this is going to make you a lot stronger of a person. You were hit by a car, survived, but now you realize the value of being alive.
Yeah, and you might have
Yeah.
to overcome a disability now too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to build character. I mean, obviously it's not something you would choose to do, but
Yeah.
it'll build character. It'll help you be stronger, smarter, better,
Yeah.
value your life more, like you said.
Yeah, and probably for most people that would change your life, and ideally for the better, with a different viewpoint. Not saying, "Man, I can't believe this happened to me," and then you're miserable because of it, and you start smoking and drinking all day long because you feel like a victim of a circumstance such as getting hit by a car.
Yeah, you just crumble basically,
Yeah.
and then your life just snowballs out of control from there. Just one negative thing after the other, which is totally possible. You
Yeah.
can go one of two ways, but going the positive way is always the right answer.
Yeah, 100%. So flip the script. That's a point here. Flip the script. Not most things in life don't happen to you. It happens for you. So you have to remember to switch the word to for.
Yeah, I think just one point I wanted to make is that oftentimes it takes looking back at something to have the perspective to see that it actually did happen for us, not to us. For
Yeah,
example,
hindsight.
like, a major illness like cancer or something. A lot of people who have overcome, cancer will tell you that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, at the time it was horrible, but actually now that I look back and look at that, 50,000 foot view, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But we're just trying to get you to think about that now to save you all that time and mental energy by just going ahead and framing your mind that way from the onset. So as soon as something happens or you see it coming, you see it's about to happen, you just tell yourself, this is for me, not to me. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to stay positive, and you're truly going to save yourself so much stress and headache by looking at things that way. Than looking at it negative and then later on realizing that it actually was positive. Because always you're going to come out the other side and look back and say, man, I changed for the better, hopefully, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So this goes back to perspective. Change your perspective. Be aware of what your perspective is and why it's that way, and change it.
Don't be a victim.
Yeah, don't be a victim, because...
Like my dad says, don't be a whiny baby.
Yeah.
He always says that to me and it pisses me off. But you know what? It's true. Don't be a whiny baby.
Yeah, don't whine. No one cares at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one really cares about your problems.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, yeah, nobody really cares. All right, so would you have anything else to say on that topic?
All I would say is that it's time for the
Idiot Fact of the Day. All right.
Yeah,
I like that intro into the Idiot Fact of the Day.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Do you want to read it, Kelly?
Yeah, because I found this fact, so I'll go ahead and read it.
All right, go for it.
All right, so actually you already knew this anyway.
Yeah, I did.
So Apple, you may have heard of them, may not.
What's that? You mean the fruit? Or?
Yeah, the fruit.
Oh.
Yeah, Apple, the fruit. No, Apple, the company, obviously, you should know who they are. They actually had a third founder. His name, which you don't know, was Ronald Wayne. And he actually had a 10% stake in the company, which means if he still was part of Apple, he would be like a billionaire.
Yeah.
But he left the fledgling company after 12 days and forfeited all of his shares for a meager $2,300.
That's mind-blowing.
That is an idiot.
Yeah.
True idiot.
Yeah, so you want to talk about idiot entrepreneur? There's one.
Well, there's a perfect example of don't freaking quit in 12 days, right? You
12
should
days.
Yeah, you just stick through something and put in the time and you'll get the reward. Don't just quit like a little whiny baby. And now I'm sure he's whining and crying about not being part of Apple.
I mean, if I knew in hindsight that I could have been a billionaire if I would have just stuck it out, I don't think I would be able to live with myself.
Yeah, that's pretty devastating.
That would fucking suck.
Like, well, I wonder what he's doing now. Do you think he works like a regular crappy job?
I don't know. He could be. I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe he killed himself. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not a billionaire.
Yeah, well, he's not because we would have heard of him.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the moral there is don't give up. A lot of people make idiotic mistakes, and just keep going. Just stick it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure back in the day when he started, because it was nothing, he probably thought, this company's stupid, we don't know what we're doing. He felt like an idiot and he thought, screw this, I'm going to go, do something more serious. But, man, that was a fatal mistake.
Yeah, I mean, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact.
Not for him, but...
Yeah, exactly. I don't think if Ronald Wayne was listening to this, I don't think he'd be very happy.
He wouldn't, yeah. Sorry, Ronald.
He'd be like, you bastards.
Well, at least he made our idiot fact of the day.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that was a great show.
Oh, this show that we just did?
Yes, that was a good episode.
Okay. Well, you're just determining that for the audience, I guess. But
yes.
Yeah, so that's all we got, guys. Just reframe how you think. This is, if you've noticed, there's a pattern with what we talk about. A lot of it, most of it, is mindset related. Again, as we've spoken about before, we are going to get into some more tactical, but unless you have your mind right, you're not going to get any of this other stuff. So we like to really harp on all these mindset things. And this isn't just business. Obviously, this relates to your life in general. But if you do have a business or you work somewhere, which is pretty much everyone, these things are going to help you exponentially.
Exactly. Yeah. So all this ties back, like this, for example, today's show, ties back into like what Kelly's saying is regular life, everyday life occurrences, and also business. A lot of it's overlap. So, if your business is failing and it didn't happen. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you. So
It's telling you wake up and change something.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Make a move. Don't just sit there and cry about it.
Yep.
So,
Bingo.
yeah. All right. So make sure if you got some value out of this to subscribe, obviously, rate us, review us on iTunes, and share it with somebody.
Yeah, share the word, guys. I think it'll help. If you think someone else can benefit from it, share it. And spread the word. It helps out the podcast. It's why we're doing it, is to give actual value, real value to other people. I think in hindsight, we could say if we had the same knowledge we knew now back then, when we first started a couple years ago, we'd be way ahead. But
yeah.
so the key is to spread the word and keep learning.
Yeah, benefit from what we've learned. That's, the name of the game. And also, if you know somebody who plays a victim all the time, definitely share this with them. Give them a little subtle hint to, stop annoying you.
Yeah, because no one cares.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
All right, until next time.
Later.
Okay, bye.
See ya. Bye.